everybody, welcome back to Sherry's Crochet Corner. I'm Sherry, and I just wanted to welcome you to beautiful Southwest Virginia today. Overcast but sunny and in the 50s to 60s, and it's a welcome change from a week ago where we were minus 20 degrees with a wind chill factor at 1 to 10 degrees outside for 4 days. Very cold and frigid. Today is a day all about grannies. I know you can see my beautiful Afghan behind me and my cardigan here, and I'm going to hold the back of it up so you can see it, and I'm going to put it on. I used a pattern from the Crochet Crowd, and I think it called for 34 squares, so I made 3 extra for this to have enough. I kept one of the squares that I made out, so I had 31 squares instead of 30. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. This is from rounds 1 and 2, and this is from rounds 3. I belong to a group on Facebook called the Scrappy Crochet Exchange, and I'm going to leave a link below to the Facebook site so you can go and visit. We welcome all new members. We welcome anybody that wants to contribute and exchange squares with us. They're even talking about, for this 5th round coming up this year, looking at maybe exchanging a throw blanket instead of squares, or go back to squares. So you can see that there's some very beautiful squares, and they're from all over the world. And I do say that literally, from all over the world. Let me show you again the back of this, and then I'm going to put it on and show you the front. I'm going to probably, well, I guess it would help if I did it the right way. Probably going to stand up and point out some of the squares on the blanket. Now, these arms are long, see that? Because of the pattern called for 4 squares on the front and back of each arm, but I thought it could double as a cuff, so in case my hands get cold, or I could just fold that 1 row of squares up and have it. I didn't exactly follow the pattern. I joined these with single crochets, and that wasn't what it called in the pattern. And the border around the neck and the arms is something I adapted. But anyways, the fronts of it, I hadn't made a half granny square until this pattern, and I did that in this pattern, which makes a beautiful neck. See? Gorgeous. So this is from Yarnspirations Crochet Crowd. Mikey does a wonderful tutorial on how to do this, and there's a free written pattern in it too. So I'm going to stand up and show you some of this Afghan behind me, and maybe flip it over. Excuse me standing up in your way, but you can see here I've kind of cross stitch. I don't cross stitch, but similar, that this is rounds 2. So the last 4 are from the last rounds. United States, Ireland, Canada. So there's a little bit of everybody. This one's from Malta, which is awesome. And then, let me see if I can hold it up in front of the camera, and you can see rounds 1 on the top. And again, I've got Canada and Ireland and the United Kingdom, a little bit of everywhere in this. Now, I don't know how you feel about granny squares. They were very intimidating to me when I first learned to crochet, but it was one of the first things I did learn to crochet. I'm gonna sit back down, guys, so sorry for that. But as you can see, granny squares can be done in a whole lot of ways and used for a whole lot of different things. I've seen people make bags with them, market bags, purses. I've seen people use them to make all kinds of other things. And they make gorgeous Afghans, and they make gorgeous granny straps, can make gorgeous Afghans too. So the Afghan, rounds 1 and rounds 2, both were done in 2021, and that's when the group was started. And then round 3 is in this cardigan, and this one actually had a theme. the first 2 rounds were anything goes, okay? Round 3 was 50 Shades of Gray. So the squares were a combination of grays, and you know, black and white are both at that end of that spectrum, one end of the gray versus the other. Round 4 just got sent to us right before Christmas, the week before Christmas. That's my address, so I don't mind if you see it. But look at that beautiful bag. And when the moderators, Lisa and Tansley, send these out, they usually send a small gift as well. And so the gist of the group is that we crochet 30 squares, and I usually crochet 1 extra so that I'll have my own square, because when you send them to the moderators, they'll separate your squares and make sure that everybody else in the group will get, not everybody, because there may be more than 30 people, but at least 30 other members of the group will get one of your squares. And you get 1 square from 30 different members, and they may or may not be all the same. And the squares that I'm going to show you, some of these ladies in this bag have crocheted for all 4 rounds, and some of them are brand new for this round, so that's great. It's up to you. And then some people have had to miss rounds because of personal things in their lives, and that's okay. They missed a round and they came back and joined another round. So if you want to try it out, I'm going to welcome you to come visit and join, and think about joining in our group for round 5 of the exchange, so that you can get squares like me from all over the world. Makes for very unique things to have to hand down. So we're going to get into this bag, and I'm going to show you squares one by one, and we'll talk about them for a minute and then we'll move on. But I want you to see all the different squares, and so this is such exciting times when we get these bags and get to see them. So you'll get to see a variety of squares and see where they're coming from. So Jenny from Florida sent this for round 4 in those gorgeous colors in that spiral. And this beautiful granny is from Paula, and she lives in Montana. Absolutely beautiful, stunning. That yellow makes that stand out so good. And this is from Vicky in Oklahoma. And you can see there's a little thing showing where somebody's from, but Ruthie from California. And this is from Tansley, and she's one of our moderators from North Carolina. And then this is from Laura Lynn, who goes by Lori, and she's from Michigan. And you can see that she's included a whole bunch of information in her bag. Now, I know that you're seeing that these are individually in bags, and that's to ship them and to separate them easier for the moderators. And also during this time of COVID, it's also to help protect and not spread anything. So this is from Kathy in Kansas. Look at this, pumpkin pie. You can tell round 4 was done in the fall, and you'll see more of that in a minute. And this is Ginger from Virginia. Beautiful sunflower from Paula, and Paula is from Kansas. And this is from Lisa, another of our moderators, and she's from Georgia. And this one is a 3D, see that? And this is from Melanie in Quebec, Canada. And isn't that pretty? Hypnotic. Lori from Pennsylvania. And this one keeps on with the 50 Shades theme from last round. And Monica sends this from Ontario, Canada. Meet her Granny. And this is from Alice, who lives in California. Kim from Valdosta, Georgia. Teal from Texas. Narina, and she's a teacher, and she's from Australia. Best wishes from down under, it says. This is a beautiful 3D from Tanya, and Tanya is from Georgia. I think her and Kim crochet together, but I'm not sure. And then this beautiful 3D is from Wanda in Pennsylvania. And this beautiful star stitch is from Timmy in Ohio. You can see by the squares I'm showing you, just any square goes. It doesn't have to be a complete quote granny, just a square. And this is from Andrea in Michigan. Look at this beautiful flower. Tara from Oklahoma. 30 squares, guys, 30. Look at this. This is the Caribbean Queen, Brenda. And I'm assuming that she's from the Caribbean. This 3D square, almost 3D, the way it's ruffled, is from Lee in Maryland. And this one has got probably a fresh, dryer sheet, yeah. Dottie from Tennessee. Annette, a Michigan girl in a Georgia world. And this one is from Kitra in Texas. This one is from Tunisia, from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And the last square in the bag is from Sheena in Ohio. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing the squares. I hope that you've enjoyed seeing a couple of different things that you can do with the squares. And I hope that you've enjoyed the outside. I think the light was better today outside, even though I've got a light. And being able to display my beautiful Afghan, thanks to all the ladies that contributed to the squares that made this possible. And I hope that you've enjoyed seeing it. That happy mail that you get when you receive your bags with squares is just a delight. My granddaughter and I have enjoyed going through it and reading everybody's comments. So I hope that you've enjoyed my video. I hope that you've had a great new year, and I would like for you to comment below, what do you think I should do with this 4th round of squares? There's 30 squares, and I did make myself a couple of the dragonflies that I sent, and they're in the house put away. So I've got 32 squares, so please comment and tell me what you think I should make with my round 4 of squares. And please go to the Scrappy Crochet Exchange and consider becoming a member, and consider contributing to round 4. Guys, again, Happy New Year. I'm so glad to have talked to you, and you all warm my heart. You all are family, truly your family, and you've gotten me through difficult times, and thank you so much for all the wonderful comments and well wishes. I love you guys. See you soon.